If you want to support the predator poachers catching the sickest both near and far, go to the pinned comment. If you're on Rumble, press the red join button to see over 30 videos early and uncensored for only $10 a month. We can't do this without your help, so join our locals.
This channel is a group of investigative journalists who make educational documentaries showcasing and educating society, especially parents and legal guardians, about potential scenarios that result from young people and adults conversating online if left unchecked. We conduct thorough interviews with consenting adults in an attempt to understand their perspective on why they partake in these conversations online with people that are not of age. The goal of the interviews in these videos and the videos themselves is to gain an understanding of the perspective of the individual being interviewed, so parents and the rest of society can be educated and aware of potential thought processes and desires of adults online to unsupervised persons not of age. These videos are not to cyberbully, harass, degrade, accuse, or threaten any individuals partaking in the interview process or in the video itself. We do not condone any of these actions. These videos are strictly educational, and we grant full permission for academia, which is any classroom setting or in scholarly papers, to show or cite our videos. To ensure that these videos are strictly used for educational purposes, we strictly adhere to YouTube's community guidelines, such as not revealing someone's personally identifiable information, in other words, PII. YouTube defines personally identifiable information as their home address, email addresses, signing credentials, phone numbers, passport number, medical records, or bank account information. We thoroughly look at and edit our videos to ensure that none of this information about any individual is shown in our videos. To ensure extra privacy for each person that is a subject of an interview in any of our videos, as of September 1st, 2022, to thoroughly comply with YouTube's harassment and bullying policy, there will be no mention or information about the last name or first name of any person interviewed in our videos. Due to potentially illegal activities discussed in our videos, law enforcement in the respective jurisdiction we conduct these interviews in is notified of each interview and video filmed by us. We are not accusing any individual interviewed of being guilty or committing a crime. That is the job of law enforcement. We are not vigilantes, and we do not condone vigilantism or vigilante behavior, such as taking the law into your own hand or not notifying law enforcement when a suspected crime takes place. We are investigative journalists. Trigger warning. Some of what can be discussed in these videos can be sensitive to some, emotional, or stressful. The only goal of these videos is to educate the public. At the end of each video, as of September 1st, 2022, there will be an educational portion at the end to discuss what was talked about in the video and to discuss what people can take from that video and learn from and tell others about. Our goal here is to bring awareness and educate the public. Now the video will start. Ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Steven. Let's go have a conversation about Lily, okay? Okay. Just want to have a conversation with you. I didn't go to or anything, okay? For my safety, do you mind just getting out of the car?
Sure.
Thank you. I get it, man. I'm a big guy too. That shit happens to me.
It's all good.
Gordon, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We can just go out in the front here.
Okay.
So, you're a teacher, right?
Yes.
Cool, man. My uncle and my dad are both in education. They also teach music as well.
Oh, wow.
So my dad's a tuba player. My uncle's a clarinet player. I think you play clarinet?
Saxophone.
Saxophone? Okay,
Yep.
cool, man. Yeah, one does middle school, one does high school, so not quite elementary, but...
Gotcha.
Well, like I said, my name's Gordon. I'm sorry to meet you like this. You seem like a good dude, good firm handshake and everything.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm here to talk to you about?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
All right. You seem like an honest dude.
Yep.
I think you teach your kids the same, right? Just be honest? All right. You want to be honest with me?
Yes.
Cool, man. What are we here for?
I just wanted to meet her to say hi. I am not trying to do anything shady. I know it seems that way. I have been trying to be very clear that this is something that we could explore later on when she's old enough.
Fair enough.
I don't want to pursue anything right now, obviously.
Yeah.
She's very kind. She's very nice.
Yeah.
I feel like I've made a genuine connection with her, so I understand that trust me, I understand.
I got you. How old is Lily now?
She is 13. I'm aware of that. I know that she's going to be turning 14 soon. Again, I've been trying to make the point to her that I want to wait to get serious about anything until she's an adult.
Yeah, and that's fair.
That repeatedly, I can see you've got screenshots.
Yeah, and that gives me a peace of mind about things too, because you know, there's two animals, right? One of them is just the one that's like, hey, let's do it, you know, all this stuff, and I understand, like, you know, there's a difference between a connection versus being malicious, and I don't think you're malicious for a second, okay? I know people might get the wrong idea about your profession, but I don't, you know, the way I separate the person from everything, right?
No, I understand.
So, okay.
I understand, and I'm not here to deny anything. I take full ownership for my behavior. Okay.
I appreciate that.
I'm not here to, you know, I never want to hurt a child. obviously because of my profession, I have a 2-year-old, so.
Yeah. And just want to let you know it is voluntary to talk to me. I'm not a cop, but like, I just want to have this conversation with you, okay?
I understand.
Would I like anything in the conversation you think I'd bring up, like any pictures or anything like that?
Potentially.
Okay, like what?
Just the way we have talked to each other. I know we've sent selfies to each other.
Okay, but is there anything like that wasn't a selfie that I could be bringing up?
Potentially.
Okay, what are we talking here?
I know she sent me feet pictures.
Sure.
I've never asked her for anything.
No, and I actually saw you didn't ask her for anything, and I actually appreciate that. Did you send her anything that could be like, whoa, why would this be sent?
One time.
What was it?
It was just a video. I messed up on that. I did not want to send it, and I shouldn't have, and it was a stupid lapse of judgment.
Got a little bit carried away. That's fair enough. It was a video of your...
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Got it. I understand. It happens, man. I mean, I talk to girls online too. I talk to females, so I know how it can be when the conversation gets.
I have no excuse. I should know better.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm really, really sorry, and I am more than willing to obviously discontinue contact with her immediately.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So I'm kind of more like curious, like not even Lily being 13 or whatever.
I understand.
What put you online and like, I don't want to be intrusive on your personal life, but I'm not here to judge you for it. I've been through a divorce, okay? I've gone through this shit. So what kind of put you online on Instagram, I guess, looking for a female, looking for a connection, stuff like that?
I've been going through a bit of a rocky marriage the last year or so.
Okay.
And just, we're starting couples therapy this week.
Okay.
But we have had a few tough conversations about going forward in our marriage. I want us to be able to fix things.
Mm-hmm.
Things were just starting to feel a little bit hopeless for a while there. So I tend to look for connections with people. Just as a general rule, I tend to be a bit of a more emotionally driven person.
Sure.
So I'm sorry, man. I screwed up. I really screwed up.
No,
I'm so sorry.
And I understand, but the only reason I'm talking to you is because not for a second do I think you wanted to hurt Lily, okay? Because I don't put that at all, But
I should have known better, and I take full responsibility. I'm not here to deny and be like, oh, wasn't my fault. No, I was the adult.
Right.
I made the choice, and it was a stupid one.
What do you think about Lily? Like, what do you think it is about Lily that kind of built that connection for you?
She seems like a genuinely very kind person.
I agree.
We had similar interests. We had bonded over talking about food and, art, different things like that, music. So that's essentially it right there.
Okay.
It's a genuine connection. I was not looking to pursue anything on a deeper relational level with her until she was an adult.
Okay. So is that something you wanted in the future potentially?
Potentially, if she wanted that.
Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah.
I've made that point to her too. I'm like, listen, if this is something you want later on, great.
Right.
I don't want you to feel trapped by this.
Well, I genuinely appreciate that.
If you feel differently about this, obviously, it's not a problem.
Sure.
Adult consent means everything, and I take that stuff very seriously. So
Okay.
I'm sorry, man.
I understand.
I'm really, really sorry.
Yeah, no, and I accept your apology, and I think you're sincere, and that's why I'm willing to continue this conversation with you and just figure it out. And I think you're a good dude. So is there a point where?
I got you.
Thanks, dude.
No problem. Here you go.
Thanks, man. Is there a point where you started to catch like real feelings for like love or anything like that?
Yeah, I think it was starting to move in that direction, but again, it's not something I wanted to pursue with her right now.
Yeah.
Today I was just genuinely interested in saying hi, and that's it. Because I do need to go pick up my daughter from daycare. So, it was just going to be hi and bye, that's it. So, I was not comfortable with the idea of meeting her for any long period of time.
Right.
And I've, in the past, tried to guide her to be careful with speaking to strangers online before.
Fair enough.
I am a very honest person. I'm not here to BS anybody.
No,
So
exactly. So there's something mentioned about like garbage disposals in the messages. This is me just kind of being like the curious person I am about shit. Like ever since I was a kid, like I've always like, I'm the type to put my hand on the hot stove, see what it is. Like this isn't even about Lily or anything. What's the thing with the garbage disposals?
It's just a weird thing that I've little kid. I don't know
Okay.
why my brain made that association, but it did. So
Okay.
that's all.
So you find garbage disposals kind of attractive in a way?
It's hard to describe. It's
Just try your best. I'm just curious.
I mean,
try your best.
it really is hard to put into words. It's, it's partially that, but we've always been kind of fun. So that's
Okay.
all. It's not like a tool for harm or anything like
No, I understand that. Well, what about a garbage disposal kind of tickles your fancy, I guess?
Again, it's so hard to characterize into words here.
I don't think you take that. I don't think you take that excuse from your students.
No, it's just an association I made in my brain.
Okay.
And that's all.
Did she ever send like any videos having to do with garbage disposals?
She did.
What did she send?
Just a video of the garbage disposal running.
Okay.
That's it.
What did you say to that video? Like, how did you express feelings for that?
I liked it. I expressed that to her, and
Okay.
So
there's a message here, I believe, something about eventually we could live together and our house will have a garbage disposal.
Yes.
Okay. Does your again? I'm not here to tell anything. Does your wife know about this garbage disposal thing?
She does.
Okay.
She does.
Fair enough. And I mean, a feet too. I mean, but feet's kind of common, so it's like, no point. But that for garbage disposal, that's a first for me. Is there anything you like throwing in there specifically that kind of makes a different sound, or
just whatever gives it the sound? That's all.
Okay.
It's just literally is just food items.
Okay.
So
do you incorporate that in your life somehow? The garbage disposal. Okay, it's just a whole separate thing.
it's a separate
Okay.
thing. And I don't even have one, so.
God damn.
Yeah.
Okay, that sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Fair enough. So I want to kind of bring up, and again, like, we know there's boundaries and stuff, okay? But there is multiple messages where, there were voice recordings of what to me sounded like heavy breathing or panting per se. And like I said, I have too. What was happening in those?
So I was just doing that. I wasn't doing anything in particular. It was heat of the moment, just trying to create some excitement, that's all.
Okay, create some excitement, like what kind of excitement?
Just kind of a romantic excitement.
Okay.
That's it. And again, it was a stupid mistake. I should not have done that. And again, I'm not here to BS. I'm taking accountability for
absolutely. And to me, accountability goes a long way. Like if I was your, if I was the principal, I'm just using this example as a school. If I was a principal and there was two teachers and, $20 was missing from the fundraiser, and I think it's two people, I don't, do you think I'd work with the one who's honest about the $20 or dishonest,
exactly.
right? So, and I look at it the same way as this.
Yep.
But, there's messages here like, you'd push on my while you'd push on my with your fingertips while I to you. Okay, what was that kind of about?
That's essentially the connection that my brain has created. And again, this is within the context of her being an adult.
Right.
It was not anything that I was like, oh, I want to meet up and we're going to do this.
No, I totally understand. So, throughout the conversation, and I'm just asking this guy to guy, because I've been in love too. I know, especially like, I get the excitement, man. How many times did we to her throughout the conversation? Just Lily, the idea of Lily, just kind of what was being said, this and that.
It's not anything like that. I mean, we never talked and I did that.
Well, I guess how many times just thinking about this thing did you kind of...
I mean, I've thought about it, but it's not anything that I was intending on acting on with her. Again, these are things that I was thinking about as an adult.
No, 100%. But I'm just saying, in the privacy of your own home, like how many times did you kind of just do it thinking about her?
I mean, it was maybe just a couple times.
A couple times. Okay. What were you thinking about with her that kind of got you kind of do that stuff?
It was more just the idea of, again, being together.
Being together. Fair enough.
That's all.
Okay.
And like I said, it's nothing I wanted to pursue now.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm trying to get across.
That is totally fair.
I should have stepped away. I did step away on numerous occasions, and I should have just stayed away.
Okay.
And I take accountability for that as well.
Got it. So you mentioned she sent some feet photos and all that? Okay. So yeah, it looks to be a video of a foot was sent here, and on your end it said, oh my God, yes, they are the feet of all time. Take me through what you were thinking by that. Like,
I found them very attractive.
Okay.
And beautiful. That's
okay.
And again, it's a thing, as you said.
Yeah. That's a pretty common one. I have a brother, and he likes to talk about his escapades, and Jesus Christ, man. But Okay. So I do want to ask about some things because, you know, obviously your account's private on Instagram, you unsent messages, but you know, Instagram is not a private platform, and you know, Instagram's very easy to pull things from and this and that. So what I've noticed, and I'm just asking you, I'm not saying you have an ice cream truck, I'm not saying you go peep through windows or anything like that, but there is a pattern of Steven either messaging or following accounts that are under 18. There's a pattern with that. And by following, I don't mean necessarily clicking the follow button or anything like that, but looking at messaging, this and that. I mean, I'm not wrong about that, am I?
No.
Okay. So you are a teacher, okay? A lot of people would look at that situation and just think, oh my God, there's just no way. This is not think logically. You think emotionally about stuff, but I think you think logically when it comes to the grand scheme of things.
Yep.
I can get emotional too, but I think logically when it comes to important stuff, right? So logically, I'm gonna think, hey, if somebody needs help, they need help, whether they're a teacher, whether they're an ice cream truck driver, maybe it shouldn't be an ice cream truck driver, but whether they're a teacher, whether they're a coach, yeah. So when did this kind of start for you online? I'm not talking Lily, I'm just talking this stuff. Yeah.
It's specifically the feet. It's the feet in general and kind of separate from age.
Sure.
And that's something that I've been working with my therapist on as well. I've been working with her for 2 years now. And as I said, my wife and I are going to be starting couples therapy with her as well.
So it started off with like feet of pretty much any age?
It's just feet in general.
Okay.
And then it kind of worked its way into that.
Into the kind of the under 18 range.
Again, it's hard to say that they're separate, but it's again about feet for me. It's not about the person itself.
Sure. What was the time frame that started happening? Like where it started to dip into kind of the under 18 stuff with the feet?
I'm not entirely sure.
Ballpark.
Maybe a couple of years.
Like we talking 2010? Are we talking like what would be the best, most accurate guess?
It's been a number of years. It's hard for me to put a number on it.
Like decade or more?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay. And I'm talking like feet, like dipping into the kind of the younger feet stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So where, you know, because obviously, I'm not sure how your wife checks your history or anything, but I don't think it was just Google search. I don't think you just Google search underage feet. I mean, where was this kind of going on at? Like what platform or what?
Just Instagram, and that's primarily it. It's
not
like I'm going online looking for, you know, or anything like that.
Right,
Obviously, that's not anything that I don't want to get involved in any of that. And as I said, this is something that I'm tackling with my therapist. And I want to continue to do that work. Like, I know that this is an area I need to keep an eye on and stay ahead of, and I want to do that. Yeah, because the vibe I get from you is you definitely separate your online life from your real life, and you do a good job of that. And you know, I'm not saying it's the best thing in the world, but it's definitely a better situation than what could have been, right? So, you went to college, right? Obviously, you're a teacher. You have a master's degree? I do.
In what?
Music performance.
Shit, man. So, what made you want to be a teacher rather than like performing like symphonies and all that? Because I think those symphony people.
I do both.
Oh, okay.
I've performed for many years, primarily jazz.
Oh, good shit.
And I've done, you know, wind ensemble music, that kind of stuff too.
There you go. So. Do you get paid on the side for that?
Yeah. I haven't had any gigs since before lockdown.
Oh shit. Well, but
it is what it is.
You got like a favorite jazz artist or anything?
Redford Marsalis.
See, I only know like Langston Hughes. Like I'm not too deep. Who's that guy?
He's a saxophone player.
Okay.
He took over for Doc Severinsen on the Tonight Show.
Okay.
He was the band director there for a while, and Jay Leno took over. But he plays classically very well. He plays jazz very well. He can kind of do all kinds of different styles. Does he like create his own stuff, or does he? Yeah, I mean, sometimes he can pretty much do it all. He can perform with orchestras.
Yeah.
He's played with Dave Matthews. He toured with Sting for a number of years.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah, the Police. Yeah.
He's a pretty renowned saxophonist.
I gotta ask. So this is me just being curious, not a sidetrack. So say you just hear some symphony played, like let's say Beethoven or something. I'm not too specific with these people.
No worries.
If it's played, you know, if the notes are played like correctly and at the with the timing, how do you how do you differentiate like who's playing it slightly better? Like,
it takes a lot of practice listening through the texture.
Yeah.
You know, it takes many years to hone that ability to listen.
But you've developed that, you think? Like, okay, this guy plays it slightly better than this guy?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
That's interesting.
Sure.
That's pretty interesting.
It is.
That's definitely a talent, man. That's definitely a talent. So I did want to ask about some of this stuff because, obviously, I fully believe that you're not here to hurt, to put hands on. I believe that. We can just write that off. I won't even ask you about that because I don't think it's true.
Can I please say one thing really quick? This is a wake-up call for
Yeah.
me, and this is honestly the one thing that I know I needed to kick me into being
Sure.
more aggressive
Well,
with this.
yeah, I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Just sorry, what were you gonna say?
Yeah.
I cut you off.
No,
I
that's
apologize.
fine. If you're telling me something like that, you can say it all. I like that.
I understand.
But, man, maybe I am a little sidetracked now. Whatever.
It's okay.
Okay, so we mentioned something earlier, like, looking at these messages, people can definitely assume, like, whoa, where'd all this come from? Where'd all this come from? And you mentioned kind of maybe a decade ago, give or take, is that fair to say? Started to go into like underage feet stuff, this and that. And that's kind of my theory with some of this stuff. Like, there's people that just wake up one day, want to go meet kids off the internet, or want to go meet kids, whatever, and they're just like that. And then there's other people where,
I don't want to do that. Like, that's
Right. But then there's other people where, whether you wanted it to or not, it becomes so normalized that, like, okay, this is just kind of my life online for this much time. It's starting to just all be a blur to me. And then it puts some of these words on paper. Some of these words, like, people can look at them and be like, whoa, what in the heck is that being said for? So you mentioned something like, it's only been feet, I don't want to get involved in this.
Yeah.
So I believe you on that. I don't think you want to get involved in this stuff.
Not at all.
But it seems like you don't find it seems like this finds you. And that's happened. God, I'm not a college educated. I can't count that high. So just, you're a teacher. You care about kids. You have kids of your own. How'd that start happening? Because I know you're not looking for it, but I know it's found you, How'd that start happening?
I just think I didn't deal with the feet part of my early enough.
Okay.
And I think I just bullshitted myself that I was okay with managing it on my own. And part of this too is just it's hard to ask for help about something that seems, you know what I mean?
You should be an alcoholic, and then you can go get your help then, right? I mean, obviously don't, but
Not at all.
Right.
And I want things to work out for her and I.
Sure.
And with starting this therapy this coming week, like, that's something that I really hope we can continue to work through things and make this solid again.
Absolutely. So you mentioned it wasn't because you tackled your feet problem enough, which is fine. But so let's just say for accuracy's sake, 10 years ago the feet stuff started with underage. How much long did this start in synchronicity with that? Was it a little bit after? When did that kind of start?
What do you mean?
Like the kind of the younger stuff.
How do you mean?
Well, basically, I brought up, like, I don't think you're looking for, but I think over the years found you a lot or sucked you into some shit. Okay. So, we have the feet stuff, which, most people would say is on the lighter side of than. But how much longer after the feet stuff starts is it kind of like the stuff kind of start?
I mean, I don't actively seek.
Right. But when did it start seeking you is what I'm asking.
Again, it's all the feet with underage is kind of just melded with feet in general.
No.
That's all that I've been interested in. It's not.
Oh yeah, no. I know that. But I'm saying, like, there's definitely been times, because again, you're not the most anonymous person, where, mixing in with the feet maybe, I don't know, that far I can't get into, I don't know. But there's definitely been times where it looks like has either been sent or has been kind of popped up, especially if we're looking at underage stuff on the internet,
I mean, any of the underage feet stuff has been on Instagram.
It's been on Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other apps that kind of this has been happening on?
I mean, there's been some instances with Snapchat, but that's with people I know.
Okay.
Friends who know that this is a thing for me.
Right.
And they're adults.
Okay.
And of age. So.
Okay. Have you ever had, like, Telegram at all, or?
I had it very briefly, but never made any connections on it, and I got rid of it right away.
What's kind of the deal with Telegram?
I mean, I was curious about it and just decided to not use it. So
fair enough.
I've had it for a very short, like a day. I think
Yeah.
And that's about it. So
how'd that one get introduced to you, Telegram?
I think I heard about it just through various channels through Instagram, and that was it.
Okay, got it. So was Telegram, was it like, I guess I'm kind of new to that one. Is it like kind of groups, or is it individuals, or kind of both?
I honestly don't know. I haven't used it.
Okay.
Like I said, I got on there, and it's just kind of like this thing where you kind of go from there and have to know what to do with it.
Right.
So beyond that, I don't really know.
Fair enough. So you were anonymous for quite a while in the messages, or at least portrayed to be. What prompted you to finally start sending your photos and all that?
I felt like we were making a stronger connection with each other. And
Okay.
I felt like we were comfortable enough where I could share that with her, and that was it.
Absolutely. Does your wife know about any of the extracurricular stuff, like just kind of talking to other people, or?
A little bit. She knows about some of the struggles with the feet, and that it's, been with other friends, but that's it.
Okay.
I haven't told her about Lily,
Sure.
obviously.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you've been very, very honest about stuff, but some of this stuff here, and I just want to get a clarification here. One of the messages here, you said, I'd be your personal disposal. She said, I can't put food in you. And you said, I'd want to grind and wiggle by your feet with my face buried in them. So what does personal disposal mean? At least what did you mean when that was said?
Just, again, it was tapping into that,
Okay.
so to speak.
Got it. This is when it was still shaking and trembling, during when it was getting, you'll see it swell up at the end too. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I got to ask, was the feet stuff 10 years ago, was that on Instagram too, or is that somewhere else at first? Or?
I mean, the feet stuff has always been a part of me. It's,
okay.
You know what I mean?
I guess like the younger feet stuff.
Oh, I mean, it just kind of trickled through in Instagram. Just, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You go through one page and it takes you to another.
Yeah, just kind of like this or that. So I am curious, are there people like, and this is just me, like kind of like, because obviously I don't want to get the real bad guys, right? I wouldn't really care about somebody who's just kind of maybe gets a little bit carried away. But have there been people that have met you online, or you met online, that would you say are like bad, or like kind of into some deep stuff or anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't associate with people like that generally. I mean, there's bad people everywhere, but
no, for sure. Well, let me ask this: have people tried to talk to you about underage themes and stuff?
not that I'm aware of.
No. Okay. So are the feet pics like on Instagram? Like, are they on the feed, or are people like DMing this to you, or is it kind of both?
No,
or?
it's just I find them from different channels. Again, you go from one, and then it takes you to others.
Sure.
You go in like associated accounts, that kind of thing.
Right,
So-
right.
And it's kind of like that rabbit hole analogy.
So how did you and Lily find each other?
It was through Instagram, obviously. I mean, it's been a little over a year now. I think we just popped up in each other's like similar, you know what I mean? Like,
Sure. So
struck up a conversation.
right. So when did kind of younger because Lily has nothing to do with feet. Like, I don't see any feet on her profile or anything like that.
Right.
When did kind of younger profiles, like around Lily's age or younger, a little bit older, start to pop up for you?
Again, it's just like finding different channels. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's hard for me to.
Yeah, I get it.
recount
We're
everything
not
here.
techno savvy geniuses here. But okay, so younger profiles have started to pop up at some point. Okay. Just be honest. I mean, you have been honest. I won't tell you to. I was just expect it from you. How many of these profiles that have been like underage have you tried to strike up a conversation with, or they try to talk to you, or?
For any ones that I've been aware of, I mean, I think there's been a couple where I've had casual conversations with, but it doesn't go anywhere. And I usually will get myself to the point of like, hey, this isn't okay.
Yeah.
Get out of there. Deal with this.
Right. And how old are those profiles usually?
Older than Lily,
Like, what are we talking here?
like 17, 18.
Okay. How many around Lily's age have tried to talk to you, or maybe you said hi to, or stuff like that?
I honestly am not entirely sure.
What do you think a ballpark could be?
Again, I don't know off the top of my head. It's,
Like, are we talking dozens, hundreds,
well,
a few, or?
like I said, I'm not actively seeking out people
Right.
her age.
No, I understand, but
she's been an outlier because, again, I feel like we have developed a genuine connection and friendship with each other.
sure. But what I'm asking is, like, I think you were the one that messaged first. Okay, so you know, it's not like Lily just hit you up, then shit happened.
Right.
You know, it's you messaged her, then shit happened. You know, being that it was two willing parties, to your credit. Like, it wasn't like, hey, Lily,
No,
you weren't like that.
But I should have.
Right.
Again,
Yeah,
had
no,
the sense to pull back and discontinue from there.
Sure. But I mean, how many profiles that could have been around Lily's age, maybe like 13, 14, have talked to you, or you've talked to them just for a short amount of time, maybe you block them?
A few, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay, you think it's been like a few, like, or a lot, or what do you think?
I would say a few.
A few?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
I don't remember individual ones. Or
Sure,
anything like
sure.
That. I'm being genuinely honest with you. It's hard for me to recount all of that.
Do you recall any from like the New York area here, or?
Not in particular, no.
Okay. Any at all from New York? Well,
No.
guess rare occurrence then, huh? Guess it would be pretty specific to be from this area. Understand.
Well, and I was surprised when she had told me that she was from around here. I was
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess that's another reason the conversation could have continued for so long. It's a little bit different when they're close. So,
Where do we go from here?
well, I kind of just want to, you know, figure out some things, because in the end, the only way to get help is to identify what needs to be helped, right?
I started working with a psychiatrist.
Okay.
In addition to the therapy.
Uh-huh.
So I'm doing individual sessions for my therapist, doing joint sessions with my brother. He and I are working through childhood trauma. And now I'm starting joint therapy sessions with my wife, and I'm now working with a psychiatrist.
Yeah, so I'm curious about that. So childhood trauma, like what happened to you when you were a kid?
A lot of physical and mental emotions. My brother and I went through a lot of bad shit growing up. A lot of physical.
Like parents?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of just deprivation. And
What do you mean by deprivation?
it just, deprivation of needs, and, I think neglect is the more appropriate word.
That's what makes you an involved father, huh? You don't want to be the way you were.
I want to give my daughter everything that I didn't get growing up, and I love my daughter with all my heart. And even with this stuff, like,
Yeah,
it's hard to look at myself in the mirror.
I understand.
Again, it's because I do take full accountability for
Yeah, and you
my
have a conscience
actions.
about it.
Yeah, and I don't like the fact that this is happening. I want to deal with it. I want to get ahead of it and have it not be a problem anymore.
Sure. No, yeah, for sure. So when you say you were neglected, are we talking like not 3 meals a day, or you had 3 meals a day? Like how deep did it go with that?
I mean, I would prefer to not get into a lot of that.
Yeah, it's fine.
But,
I don't want to intrude.
it did enough damage to my brother and I, but he
Okay.
and I have been trying to support each other and make it so that we can do better than our parents.
Is your wife understanding about that?
She is.
Okay, well that's good at least.
She is.
So I wanted to keep asking Stephen because, I do want to find a reason, like a lot of this stuff was said, because trauma could be one of them. Maybe you find solace in the fact that someone's more, and then not saying as in you could take advantage of them, more like there's understanding, they're what you maybe want it to be, because you lost your, even if it wasn't like abuse, you lost your innocence at a young age, because once that first belt comes, that's it, So I fully get that, and I can it might sound weird for me to say, but I can understand a conversation with somebody who's younger,
I want to say, too, what happened to me is not an excuse for this.
Yes.
That is one thing I want to make very clear.
And I agree with you.
And that is an
Right.
active choice that I made.
Yep.
It was a stupid one, and it
Right.
was a mistake.
Right.
And again, I'm taking the fact that I want to deal with this very seriously.
Right. And I agree with you with that. But there's excuses and there's reasons, right? So there's cause and effect, So I guess you could say if we pollute the air, the world's going to get hotter, whether you agree with that or not. It's just what people think, wrong or right. That's a cause and effect, It's not an excuse. We don't have an excuse to pollute shit, but it's a reason. So that's what I'm saying here. Like, this could just be the reason it's happening. Like, you just had childhood trauma. You just want to talk to someone who's just see their perspective on life. That's one thing. That's different.
I tend to latch on to people on an emotional level.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened here.
Okay.
Because again, it's about making genuine connections with people, and the physical piece stepped into it. One thing that I've been working through with my therapist is the feet thing. It's been kind of a self-soothing technique since I was a very young child.
Like, what is
just self-gratification.
Sure,
that kind of thing.
sure.
and it's something that I hate. That is something I've been working with my therapist on. I'm still newly working with my psychiatrist, and I want to continue those conversations with her about it.
Yeah.
We're only just getting started.
Of course.
So we have a long way to go, obviously. But I want to tackle this. I want to get ahead of it.
I think you do, yeah. What do you think, and just kind of to get your perspective, Lily was 13, about to be 14. What if Lily was like 10 or 11? Do you think you could still build that connection with her?
No.
Okay, what do you think your line would have been?
I mean, my line is, obviously I wanted to be with an adult. Like,
yeah, obviously.
As I was talking to Lily, like, the part of this that was, I don't know how to phrase it, but just, she seemed wise beyond her years. Again, not an excuse, knowing full well that she's 13. But, you know, it was always thinking forward, not, okay, we're going to act on things now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if I'm phrasing things.
No, I get it. I mean, I'm not that dumb. But, okay, so I do want to ask, Stephen, because, like, yeah, I don't think you're looking for kids online to go talk to.
Yeah.
I think it's just happened a couple times. It is what it is.
And I don't want to do whatever again.
I agree with you. Okay, but I'm also not naive to the fact that, I mean, I deal with internet addiction. You know, I've kind of, I've seen this happen to people, you know, and there's not one person that I would know of that has kind of been 10 years online, kind of looking at underage themes, such as feed or anything else, and then puts sexual messages on a paper to a girl who's underage, including pics and just stuff that people may or may not find. Yeah, but I will say, Stephen, I think something messed up your mind to do this, and maybe I'm giving you too much credit with this, but again, I don't think you've ever produced child. I don't think you've ever a kid or anything like that, okay? But I'm also not naive because we have internet records, we have obviously just common sense right in front of me. That's the main thing. I mean, anything else, I have intuition, man.
I understand.
But I can always back it up with internet records. I can always back it up with everything.
I understand.
Okay? Do I think you go every day and just go on the computer or go on the phone and just go watch underage kid videos? No.
Right.
But do I think, well, do I know that people have sent it to you or that it's been found online? Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I understand.
Okay, and I ain't talking feet, I'm talking videos, I'm talking videos, this and that, okay? So I do want to get you help for this, okay? Obviously you're going to the counselor and stuff. Maybe this will lead you to have a more candid conversation with them, because everybody holds back with them even still.
Well, again, it's hard to ask for help for something that's
right
in that category.
Yeah, so obviously, you know, I'm not here to judge you, because, I mean, I haven't been judgmental.
You would have every right to.
Sure. I would have made a lot of garbage disposal jokes by now if I was here to judge you, but believe me, and I have them, but just be candid about this, okay? Because I know it's hard to talk about, all right? I separate it into two categories. People can just take it, throw them all away. I'm not like that, all right? I look at, if you produce child, there's no, you know, it's no excusing it, okay? But people who have just kind of gotten carried away, had some sent to them, watched it, that stuff, that's help. I mean, that's literally an addiction. Maybe not an addiction in your case, but it's literally a vice, right? There's a difference between a vice and being malicious. So we know there's a vice there for child, okay? I'm not dumb, all right? The internet is way smarter than both of us are. And what are we gonna argue with, records? I mean, we're not, okay? I'm just asking, Stephen, all right, just be candid about this. Where have we kind of seen this child stuff? When did it start for you? How often is it happening? Just be honest about that.
It's hard to say when it started.
Sure.
Again, it started with the feet and then just kind of...
Simultaneously?
What do you mean?
Like child and the feet at the same time, or?
It's just that feet is essentially to me, so...
Okay, but I'm asking about like underage videos.
That is something that I'm not doing.
Right, but it's something that's been sporadically accessed.
How? Like through Instagram?
Not necessarily on
You're losing me
Instagram.
here.
Well, basically, I think people on Instagram have tried to suggest this stuff to you or try to plug it to you. So do I think it was shown on an Instagram feed? No, that gets taken down in 2 seconds.
I mean, I don't have connections with people who do this kind of thing.
Right.
I just went to different feed pages and then went down that rabbit hole.
Right, and I think it's a rabbit hole that sucked you into it.
Yeah.
But I'm also not naive. Like I said, I have intuition, I have internet records and this and that. It never, for you maybe your preference stops at feet, but the internet doesn't stop. The internet doesn't stop, okay? If I was to tell you, yeah, Steven, I don't think there's been a single underage video viewed by you in the past 10 years, I'd be lying to you, okay? And it would just be dishonest. It would be disrespectful for you. It would be disrespectful of me to tell you that, okay? And I'm not here to waste your time. Like, no, I wouldn't be asking, I wouldn't be asking you about underage videos if I knew you didn't watch any, okay? So, obviously, I know, I mean, you didn't ask her for any pics, so I know it's not, I know feet are your preference, I get that. Yeah. But I am just asking, okay, when's the first time that child either popped up or you just watched it? And I mean videos, I don't mean no feet, okay?
I'm genuinely having a hard time remembering any time that I've sought out child videos. That's where you're losing me here.
No, I don't think you sought it out. I think it's popped up.
Okay.
So
can you tell me more about that? I want to understand what you're asking me here.
Well, if you're in a realm where underage videos are being viewed, or underage feet pictures are being viewed, just and you know, the feet pictures, they always lead to like little girls in bikinis and stuff like that. It's right downstream, right? Have you seen that? Little kids in bikinis? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right. And then it always goes to, well, click this link here, click this link there, okay? It's literally a rabbit hole, like you said, okay?
A few years ago, I would say that would be the case.
What happened then?
It just, again, it's a rabbit hole. If you click one spot, you go to another,
okay,
and then that's it. And you know, again, within those times, I've been trying to pull myself out of it, and getting control of it, and get ahead of it.
Right.
And that's the issue of I'm trying to do something this big on my own
when nobody wants to be the one to say, oh, it's okay. Or
no, I need the help.
Yeah.
To be pushed back and challenged and say, hey, let's come up with a plan and how to deal with this moving forward. And as I said, that's something that I'm working on with my therapist and my psychiatrist now as well. So it's not that I don't want the help. I've been wanting the help for many years.
It's just very hard to ask for it.
It's very hard to ask for it.
Yeah.
It's isolating is the best word I can.
Because there's no Feet Pics Anonymous.
Yeah.
It's, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous will find the whole town here, but so bikini pics takes to a link. So how often or when do these links start to show kind of, not even videos per se, but maybe just child, like, and I hate to use just blatant terms, but it is what it is, like maybe or stuff like that.
It would, again, it's that part of that rabbit hole. I would say a couple of years ago is when it had started, when you know, you go from one spot to the other. And again, I would feel very, very ashamed about it after the fact.
Well, what specifically, I don't want to put words in your mouth, like what would you see?
I mean, there would be some, and again, I'm looking specifically for feet.
Right.
Here I am looking at this.
Right, because if you go to a Chinese buffet, there's pizza, there's chicken, and if you want the chicken, you're going to see some pizza.
I mean, so that's the thing, like the feet has always been the preference.
Okay, so there were some times where they showed. Okay, do you know these sites by chance?
I think one of them was like a Russian site or something like that.
Oh man, we're talking Russians? We're talking people no limits at that point. Okay, so how old were the girls that had their going?
Young. It's hard to say.
You're a dad.
Kids, probably up to 10.
Up to 10?
Yeah.
So how low are we talking?
Probably 7 to 18.
Okay, 7 to 18, fair enough. So how many of these were like videos?
I mean, most of them were just pictures that I had come across. You know, but as I said, I'm not looking to access that kind of stuff.
Right.
It was always just the feet for me.
Right, and part of my thing is I want to separate you from having quote unquote, you know, from being part of that. Right. So, you know, the internet just shows Steven clicked on this, but it doesn't show the intent behind it. The intent's to look for feet, but Steven clicked on this popped up, and you know, the internet records are pretty brutal. Like, they're brutal in the sense that they don't tell the full story, you know what I mean?
I see.
So, okay, so 7 to 10, so we're talking, what could you see, what else could you see on some of these pictures?
Mostly it was, there were a couple where it went down south and...
Down south?
Like, below.
Pretend I've only lived in New York and I don't know what the south is. What do you mean by down south? Pretend I don't.
Below the waist is one.
Okay, so 7-year-olds and kind of up?
I would say older than that, primarily.
Like
10 to 18.
10 to 18, okay.
And again, I would click off of it right away because that's not what I want, not what I was looking for.
Okay.
Not what I was intending.
Right. Click off of it right away. Okay. So how often does that kind of happen where you just click on a link, the shit pops up?
Not very often, but it's happened. I mean, once is too much for me.
I understand, but like, you know, I am curious because there are good people with vices that kind of fall into some of this shit. Like, if you had to guess, I mean, I know like there's no pattern to it really, but what's the most accurate guess for how often this kind of happens where this kid pops up?
It's hard to say. It's been more than a couple times where that's happened.
Okay.
And again, I don't want it to be a thing anymore. I don't want it to be a problem anymore.
It's been more than a couple times since it's happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, I mean, you know, because I can tell you how often I go visit my mom. I can't tell you like the amount of times I want to go visit her, but I can tell you it happens every.
It's happened too much.
Okay, so I visit my mom every so and so often. How often does this happen where this pops up? Try to be a little bit more specific.
Like in total?
No, like every couple of what, if you don't mind.
Every couple of months, I would say.
Where a child kind of pops up.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this always on Instagram, or is it popping up in other places? Or
It's primarily Instagram is where I access this stuff.
okay, but is it Instagram itself, or is it a link from Instagram where this pops up?
It's Instagram itself.
Where a child pops up?
Yeah.
Okay. How many times has it been like links or just other shit? Because you mentioned that Russian website.
Yeah. I think that was a link that I had clicked on one time and it brought me there.
Okay, was that from Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. Burped. Can you kind of tell me about like the Onion browser or the Tor browser?
No.
Okay. What do you know about those two things?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. What about like the dark web or anything?
I don't even know how to access it.
Okay. Has anybody tried to coax you into doing that? Or?
No.
Okay.
No, I can tell you that with 100% confidence.
Got it. So I do want to ask about this, Steven, because I think those Russian websites are definitely trouble. But 10 years kind of in this realm of like tiptoeing. I don't mean to make a feet joke there with tiptoeing. I kind of do, but it's all right. I'm kind of, I just like that fun. But kind of tiptoeing around this stuff. You're gonna step in shit sometimes. All right. I mean, you look at my balance. I can't keep my balance for shit. I know online it's hard too. So we've had some pop up, right? How many times would you say videos have popped up? Either kids by themselves or...
That's what I'm not remembering, and I'm being honest with you here.
Okay.
It's mostly been images.
So it's just been images?
Yeah.
Mostly been images. So has there been even one time where it's been a video, or...?
So that's what I'm having a hard time remembering.
Okay.
I'm being genuine with you here. I do need to go pick up my daughter. I'm not trying to rush through this, but...
Can we continue this conversation later today?
Potentially, it's...
Well, I want to continue with you. Well, you don't have to, but I want to do you this solid by just talking to you about this stuff, man, okay? If you want to pick up your daughter, then we can meet back somewhere by your house, like...
Well, I do need to get home and get back to my wife here. So what's the plan going forward here?
Well, I want to finish this conversation with you, and you've been transparent with me, so I want to be transparent with you. I'm willing to, kind of get this shit taken care of with you, man. Can we exchange phone numbers?
I would prefer not to, but...
Well, I mean, you don't have to talk to me, but, I mean, I have your phone number. I mean, I can text you.
Do you want to do that?
Okay, are you going to have the rest of this conversation with me?
How longer?
I wouldn't need more than 30 minutes.
Okay. Can you just be transparent with me going forward with...
Well, like I told you, I don't think you need trouble. I think you need some help, man.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to get that. I'm willing to get that for you. I mean, therapy and shit. But I do want to end the conversation though with an action plan. Okay.
Okay.
Because it's not just going to be. Well, I prefer it not to be. Oh well, I'll just tell my therapist about this. I want to know what's going to be said to her and all that shit. If you don't mind, you don't have to tell me shit.
I'm going to tell her exactly that this happened. I'm going to tell her about Lily.
Okay.
I want to tell her about our interaction today.
All right.
This is the wake-up call that I needed to finally put an end to this.
Okay.
Because I don't want to do this ever again. I didn't want to do it to begin with.
Okay.
And I'm sorry.
Got it. What time do you have? What time are you going to be home?
Roughly 5:30 or so.
All right. We talking?
Yeah.
Okay. The apartments?
Yeah.
Okay. 5:30?
roughly, yeah.
What time is it now?
4:30.
Okay, well, if I don't hear from you, I'm gonna text you. If I don't hear from you at 5:45, I'm gonna knock on your door.
Okay.
So I'm gonna text you. You'll have my number.
Okay.
But you can of course tell me to piss off, and I won't knock on your door. But as of now, I'm hoping to hear from you. I want to finish this conversation.
Okay.
Not in the rain, whether it's outside, stops raining, or.
Yep.
Okay.
I understand.
See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Yeah,
I apologize.
absolutely. See you in like an hour.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Oh, shit. Jesus Christ.
That was nuts.
Yeah. Did y'all hear everything good?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Was the visual? Oh, they have a basement too. Steven, should I want to finish the conversation up, man? Unbelievable, bro. I'm calling the cops now. Okay? So I don't know if you actually called them, but I'm about to call them.
911, where is your emergency?
Hi, it's at a...
Okay.
Yes, there's allegedly a unit on the way, according to the lady there, but I'm not. I just want to call to make sure myself. So. Oh, I thought that was.
Okay, so
Okay.
you already called?
Well, apparently she did. Let's see real quick.
Okay, was it for like an ambulance or police?
No, it was for cops. So there's an individual who lives there. We're here right now. Named Stephen. He's an elementary school teacher at public schools, and he was who he thought to be a 13-year-old girl online, including sending photos. And we get a unit here to,
He works at school.
Yeah, he works at an elementary school. He's like a teacher there, and he also has mentioned that he's an access child online.
Okay, well, let me connect you over to Amherst Police because I'm not sure about, what units they might have on the way. Let me connect you over so you can get an update, okay?
All right. I have no choice but to call the Amherst Police.
Amherst 911.
How's it going, sir? I'm at a... apparently there's a unit on the way already, but I'm just calling to make sure there is, because...
Yep.
Okay, got it.
I got 2 units on the way there.
Okay, awesome.
What's going on there?
There's an elementary school teacher who teaches at public schools who was sending his picture to who he thought to be a minor online, and also admitted to accessing child online. And we want to turn over that evidence to you guys, and apparently his wife isn't too happy about it, understandably, but, her anger is a little bit misdirected.
Your name, sir?
It's Alex Rosen, it's Alex, and last name is Rosen.
Rosen. Okay, and just a callback number for you, Alex.
It's going to be Texas plate Toyota Sienna. You can't miss it.
All right, yep, just stay away from the other guy and we'll get somebody out there to assist you guys, okay?
All right, thanks. How's it going, sir?
Good, how you doing, guys? Good. What do you got going on?
So the individual that lives here, his name's Steven. He's an elementary school teacher at public school. We have a group. We catch online child across the country. We've been to Buffalo before and caught, coincidentally, another elementary school teacher that was retired, though. We were posing as a 13-year-old girl online, and Steven, for the past year, over a year, has been messaging us very seriously, but not necessarily soliciting, but he eventually sent a picture of himself.
Okay.
And, I believe in New York that in itself is a crime. So we approached him. Well, he met up with who he thought was a 13-year-old girl today. Not under pretenses, but, his just go see, because he wants like a lifelong relationship with her, is what he told us. Like he wants to date her and do all that shit.
Okay.
But we interviewed him in person over at the God damn it, that sports complex with the baseball fields.
In Amherst?
Yeah, something like that.
There's a couple of them, so.
It's like north something. I don't know. It might be in Buffalo.
Okay.
But anyway, he traveled to there to go meet who he thought was a girl. We approached him on camera. He agreed to an interview voluntarily.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to him, he admitted that he knew she was 13, to sending a picture, and to accessing child online.
Okay.
And we have it all on camera, and we have, I mean, these are wet. I mean, it was pouring. Yeah, it was pouring on us. Yeah, yeah.
That's why.
So is this his address here?
Yes.
But he said that he was going to meet up with us again after, because it was pouring. We were like, hey, can you just meet us after the rain's done?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And
What's the paperwork? What's in there?
well, it's a lot of his messages, but obviously they're now. But we have everything saved digitally, and online he would unsend a lot of messages, but we have a lot of screenshots before he unsent it too. So,
Okay.
and we have his account link, so y'all can definitely preserve those messages.
Sure. Okay. I know that you guys said that you've done this before.
Right, right.
Do you have like credentials or anything like that that you could show me? Just.
Well, not on me, but here I'll show you this.
In how many states?
Well, we have arrests in 46 states. No, 45.
Okay.
Wait, 46? I don't know.
Which one is he? Okay, and he's home right now.
Yeah, but this is
a car.
Yeah, this is the guy that we caught here. Retired school teacher pleads guilty to possession of child. And yeah, I mean, this was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So has he already been arrested for this or not yet?
Oh, this guy? No, this is just the other guy that we caught.
Oh, that's a different
yeah,
guy.
yeah. In Buffalo, though.
Okay. All right, so you're just looking to kind of, I guess, jam him up. Or not
Well, we want to see him
you
get arrested.
Try to meet up with him. He agreed to meeting up with you.
Well, no, yes, meeting up with us under the pretense we were the kid.
Yeah, he thought it was a girl that he was meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but
So you posed that you were like a 13-year-old girl.
that's correct.
And he started making comments that he was trying to meet up with you.
Right.
And then he sent pictures.
Yes,
And then he wanted to meet up with you, not here, but somewhere else.
that's correct.
He did, and it's all on camera.
Yeah,
So
but
he did try to meet up with you, and then
Yeah,
how did we end
he
up here?
did. He did meet up with us, and we talked, and then we confronted him, and we talked to him. He admitted all the stuff,
Okay.
and then because it was pouring.
Yeah, the
so
only problem
hard-
is it started pouring rain really hard.
You guys move out of the way. We gotta. Yeah.
Yeah, it started pouring rain. So I was like, hey man, just want to continue the conversation later. He's like, all right.
Sure.
And then later comes along, and he's nowhere to be found. So we tried knocking on his door here at home, because I told him like, all right, well if I don't hear from you, I'll just knock. And he's like, all right. And his wife is pretty. She's angry, but very misguided where her anger is.
Okay.
So
what documentation could I see from you today? Just like any of like the occurrences
Oh,
that
absolutely.
happened today. If you want to pull that up, I'm just going to fill my partner.
no problem.
So this came in the front counter. He was there.
Okay.
And took the information.
All right.
And actually, I was at the station. He told me about it before I even came here.
Okay. All right. Didn't know that.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to add besides?
Well, if he told you, he said access
Yep.
child, all that stuff. He said about child.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if we have an email, we can just send the video of him saying that to us in all of our messages, and I think that'll probably be good.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
All right. Okay. He's self-reported, but we're gonna cut that part out. It's okay. We're just gonna send the video portion.
Outro?
All right. I regret to inform you that public schools have a substitute teacher for the last few days of school. But yeah, apparently he just reported himself to the PD, so I mean,
So
case, I guess.
we work with Axon.
Right, yeah,
So
yeah, we know.
I can either text you or email you a link that you can upload what you have to
That'll
us.
work, that'll work.
What would you prefer?
So the person who talked to him online is not me. I just interviewed him in person. So let me give you an email and a phone number. Sure. So the phone number is going to be
Can I reference your name for that number?
yeah, I can reference my name, and then but the lady's name is.
But she's not here right now?
That's correct.
Okay, but you can get this information?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine. Let me get the link over to this,
Okay.
and then...
And let me give you an email because I'm going to upload a video from my email. It's going to be
Okie dokie. This is going to be all your licenses back. You want to check and see, make sure you got that email?
Oh, yeah. You get that on camera, your license?
No.
You can if you want. Let's see. Got it. Yep. And did you send it to that number too? I don't have that number on.
I did.
Okay. No
yep.
problem.
So I sent 2 requests.
Sweet.
One's going to be to you. One's to that number.
All right.
Both are going to reference the report that he filed on himself at the front desk, which is going to be this complaint number. So if you guys come up with more evidence that you want to forward to the detectives that are going to read the report, that's the number you have to reference when you call us.
All right. Did he like get arrested or like?
So you can FOIA that report, but I can't disclose it right now.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's freedom of information, so if you want to FOIA, you can.
All right. Well, it's on a no, so just, all right. We'll check Vine link.
Okay. Cool. You guys all set then?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
No problem. Good luck.
Thank y'all. All right. We're at the police station. Does that say police right there?
Yes.
Okay. And police, so is that a badge?
It looks like it.
So is it fair to say that's law enforcement presence in the video?
It says 911.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So, yes, sir, we're here to turn this in right here, okay? We're turning in evidence of a potential crime that was committed, and we're doing it with the police right here, okay? Just let me know when that gets to like a minute and 10 seconds so we can just make sure it's in the video. Oh, does it say police headquarters right there?
It does.
So that's in this video though, right? So is that not police presence?
Oh, there's another one over there.
Really? Let's go look at it. Wow. Look at all the police presence right there. I mean, that's law enforcement, isn't it? And would you say cops are part of law enforcement? No, they're not.
Oh.
Oh, do you work for YouTube? I'd say cops are part of law enforcement.
Yeah,
okay,
I do.
two to one.
Yeah,
2 to 1. So therefore that's law enforcement presence. That's in line with YouTube's TOS. So anyway, please sub to Rumble and join us on Local so we don't have to do this ridiculous stuff anymore. I'm sick of using this platform. My God, sub to Rumble in the pinned comment. We're gonna go turn it in actually now. Wow. Zoom in on it. Rafilos, guys. Are those all law enforcement officers? And they're in the video?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I think they're all just fascists.
Yeah. Remember, we gotta put them in the video, but we also have to say they're bad. What about this for? Are these like police badges?
I think so.
These are fines.
Wow. Okay, for you. Okay. And the cop companies film for Easter eggs. We talk about the country posing as like minors online and online message us from across the country. We're from Houston, but we just travel all over doing this. And there was an individual by the name of messaging us who we believe to be a 13-year-old girl. He said he wants to have sex with her, have a fun with her and her friend, and get a hotel room. He never followed through with that, but he was just very in the messages. And he said he's talked to other minors online before, and he said that he's on this app called Telegram where he's receiving links to what seem to be buying pictures of minors and stuff like that. But that's all he would say about Telegram. But we interviewed him at his home, and he admitted to sending all of these messages that were like sexual in nature to who he thought was his kid. And yeah, I just wanted to turn it over so y'all can do anything about it. These are out of order now. That's the number up there.
If you want to support the predator poachers catching the sickest both near and far, go to the pinned comment. If you're on Rumble, press the red join button to see over 30 videos early and uncensored for only $10 a month. We can't do this without your help, so join our locals.